Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3. And where we left off, it was a little bit earlier in 1942, it was March I believe. And I'll just quickly recap what's happened over the last few months. Nothing particularly important or of note has happened, but I'm sure you guys want to know anyway. So, other than dealing with rebellions, the German front has been pretty static. There's been no movement whatsoever, and whenever the Germans have attacked, they've failed pretty epically. They've been attacking single areas, and they've only really been attacking up here and up here. The only thing of note that I was able to do was I was able to retake Dobruja, and therefore we now have a slightly shorter front line than we previously had. And these units are ready to possibly attack that Panzer division. I'm not 100% sure, but good news, or I should say really bad news, Japan has attacked. Now, they've managed to push a little bit more into China now, but they are running the risk of being encircled pretty much all over this area. In fact, with the loss of this port and these ports, they would be encircled completely in this area, apart from these ports here. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. We might actually do some good here. Now, because someone had previously commented about Japan attacking, I've already moved a pretty large amount of our forces over in that direction. So all the militia units, any spare cavalry units, some of the guys from the Caucasus, I've moved them all over to try and fight them. And any redeployed tank divisions, I've moved over here to kind of act as an additional defensive barrier here. So I'm pretty confident with my defense against Japan. We've got lots of river lines. We've got a mustering point of here, and I'm going to use this tank division to retake this river line here. So I'm going to sort of do this, and then push in with my tank divisions when I get a chance. I'm fighting I fought a withdrawal at Vladivostok, but we're under attack there, but I think we can beat them back, you know. You know, we're doing slight damage to them, but nothing crazy. And I did move my air force over to counteract the Japanese air force. Now, I've come back into the game at this point because I am about to launch a offensive, as detailed here. This is quite a small offensive, admittedly, but the plan is to cut off all of these troops in Estonia and use these marsh provinces to sort of slow down their retreat as well. Now, to this end, I have created the 18th Army, which is made up of 3 corps, and I've given them pretty good commanders that I've taken from other units that were in the front line in other areas. And for that effect, you can see that I've got about 18 tank divisions, supported by 8 infantry divisions. Now, the majority of these tank divisions are standard armor brigades, but I've also got some guards units as well that have T-34s that I'll be chucking in, and we're supporting them with KV-2s. These are my new guard tank divisions that I've been building. And we've still got some upgrades to do to some of these other motorized units, but I'm not doing them at the moment just because I want to maintain my strength across the line pretty much everywhere. Just for a little while. Without any further ado, I'm just going to drop a quick save and get the game to sort of pick up. Good. So we're not going to get a crash, hopefully. And yeah, it's been pretty quiet, to be honest. You missed not a lot, other than, as I say, I've fought a bit of a fighting withdrawal here. But, you know, the Japanese aren't attacking us with that much, and I think they're going to stretch themselves too thin dealing with me and China. That's a two-front war that I don't think they can win with the forces they have at their disposal. Especially when I bring more tank units over, which, as you know, as these come online later on, I'll be putting them over that side. because all of these guard divisions are going to turn up on this side, apart from the guard infantry, which I'm going to send over there. And I believe, yeah, that's everything. So, let's start with my offensive. Let's go straight in with this. So, I'm going to take the majority of the units that I have. And we're just going to go straight in here. Although, should I split? Yeah, actually, let's do it like this. Let's take our backup panzer units and bring them there. And then let's support attack into that province with all of our infantry as well. And you'll notice I'm doing the Soviet tactic of just literally attacking the weak Romanian units. Now, before this started, I do believe, yes, that they'd been attacking us with several units. So they're already weakened on this front. We've only got a little bit of hostile bombing going. The Battle of Drozdy is a little bit of a pain in the ass. There's a snapshot into my music taste. Look at you guys. You're already able to beat them back. Ooh, baby. Now, I have some units to reinforce the weak points here, because we shortened our front lines around here. And part of me wants to try, if possible, to push out a little bit, maybe. It's so hard, because a general advance probably wouldn't serve me very much. So I quite like doing a pretty small-scale advance. Limited objective to reclaim Estonia. Being held up by one German division here. Ooh. Gonna struggle. I think we just had a shatter over in this area. Right, I'm trying to get our HQ units out of there. I just want to hold them just for long enough so that I can reform a defensive line, like so. And as much as I appreciate all the trade you're giving me, America, I don't want to trade supplies at the moment. More Guards armoured divisions coming online now. I don't really like the fact that they're selling themselves so dearly. Let's put everything we can into that battle. they're not going to break through there anytime soon. Supply is a bit of a problem at the moment, so I'm just going to pump as much into supply as I reasonably can. Let's put the guards divisions in Kalanin. Unfortunately, they were just too late. Right, there we go. That's an easy win. And I can move up my infantry divisions accordingly. Let's take our motorized forces and move them up one province. And let's take another 2 and move you down. And let's move you guys there. We can't let the base of our salient get cut, so we need to keep this going for as long as possible. Right, we've cancelled the attack there by attacking them. And once I'm out of the woods, the reason I picked this particular battle plan is because once I'm out of the woods, I reach very good defensive marsh terrain. So I can loop my panzers around here into the plains, and then hopefully, as I say, cut off all of these forces here in one fell swoop. And our tanks are more than a match for their named panzer divisions. In fact, what I'm going to do is then, I am going to move you guys north one more tile. Just going to leave it like that. Now, our tech has catched up a fair amount, not a huge amount, but a little bit, which is good. We are losing a little bit of our leadership through those Japanese games, which is a little bit frustrating, but you win some, you lose some. And monumental architecture, that's done. Whoa. Okay, so we want the self-propelled artillery brigade up. We're only losing supplies now in quite a lot more days. Keep it going. They are reinforcing with another infantry division. And support attack there. And I can cut them off here. And in fact, let's move around some of these troops as well. We'll just reinforce here with some more troops. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin these forces in the north like so. Because we're again only attacking very basic German divisions here. And in fact, that ain't even a German division, is it? That is literally a nothing unit. I think that's the last of our support strength increase. So, we've now got a ludicrous amount of manpower in the field because of my brigade strength increase work. Soviet captured equipment isn't a useful unit. I want you to move as quickly as possible. Let's try and capture as many units as we can. With a river crossing, can we cross here? The answer is we can at least pin them down, so let's do it. Yeah. Very good. So yeah, it looks like our general advance is working. It is forcing them back. Our planes are in the air fighting for us as well, which is good. I'm gonna, I think, push up like so. That is the real question. How many divisions can we capture with this? Yeah, this battle's all well and good, but it ain't a worry. Did take some sizable enough losses here. And I reckon they're fighting with issues with supply as well. Now, can I push through and take out that many units? The answer appears to be yes, because they're all second-rate units. Now, I've got a load of air cover that I can try and call in. Speaking of which, I would like to just do a little bit of slowing down their retreat. So I'm going to do a little bit of logistical bombing all along here. Right, we were able to push up very quickly. Right, cut the neck there. Hold them in place there. Next up is all of you divisions. Move up. Literally only pinning them down. Let's hold fire there. These are not top-rate divisions that we're fighting here. It's not quite going to be Stalingrad, but it is going to be one hell of a bloody nose. And in fact, I'm actually going to take you straight away and bring you north. So the base of our encirclement is still very much secure. And we're going to have an opportunity to cut the neck pretty quickly. Right, I'm going to take a couple of guard divisions and just leave them here. The rest of you, I'm just going to go straight north. You two are going to stick. Right, we have our first catch of the day. Let's let them just wither on the vine. It's only a few sort of basic German units, but it's better than nothing. And this will allow us to reconcentrate a new line, actually. Now, I'm going to cut the neck straight away here, because that unit actually isn't a proper unit. And I'm going to hold them in place there. Very good. This is all we want. Hold them in place. And as I say, the aim is not to actually do much there. It's literally just to hold them in place. Right, and now we have another 2 more divisions that I can just rush straight up to cut off the whole of Estonia. Let's take our tank divisions and motorized and move them to there. Infantry straight in. And I'll never have to see the Battle of Velinki whatever ever again. Right, full encirclement. And we'll support attack with these units here. Or in fact, you guys can support attack there. Very good. And it looks like the hammer blow has been struck. Just waiting for our guards tank divisions to move up. Into position. Let's just move out with a few units here. Just cut the salient. And 10 o'clock apparently. Very good. Okay, so we've caused another encirclement here. We managed to capture a German motorized division, several Hungarian divisions. Very nice, very good. Let's reinforce our lines accordingly, just judging by where we're being attacked. Okay. Very happy overall with this. Almost wish I'd had a chance to do an offensive sooner, but unfortunately all my tank divisions only came online this year, so I didn't have much of a chance to actually use them. Although I'm now thinking next year I'm going to cut off this whole southern basin at the Don. Struggle this is, and we just lost a battle there. I don't think it was anywhere particularly shocking, and in fact this is silenced everywhere else. Aha! So, our militia units have started to filter in. Up here. It is difficult fighting a war on two fronts. I wish that Japan had just sort of maybe held off just for a little bit longer, maybe. It really wouldn't have had to have been too much longer, just a little bit longer. But, oh well, it could be worse. Now, we are being attacked in several areas. And the Far Eastern strategic direction got hammered. Let's bring them back. Let's just keep concentrating on attacking the Germans. They are the primary threat. And they're not going to beat us with Romanian divisions. They need German divisions. And it looks like we've just caught another load of units with their pants down. Right, start rushing in. And it's not exactly a huge amount of units that we're catching here, but it's, you know, every little helps. And it's the first successful, or what looks like successful advance that we're going to do so far in this campaign. We took a bit of a hammering here. We had a Panzer division, so we have caught a Panzer division. It might only be a light Panzer division, but we've caught one. Ooh, and that's a lot of units. A lot of brigades. At the end of the day, their northern defense looked ragged. And we've taken advantage of it, which is sort of a minimum requirement that I wanted. So our tank divisions have been put to good use. And this shortens our front line pretty substantially and makes sure that Leningrad is safe. So it's sort of an easy win, really. There's no negatives to this. Support attack with them, and with them, and I think with them as well when it comes to it. And my idea of catching them in the swamp looks like it's done its job. It's down to one Romanian unit there. And this is a good sort of demo, shall we say, for what I'm going to do next year. It was an opportunity to test out some of my units and just see sort of where we stand in relation to the Germans. And judging by our effectiveness, we seem to stand quite well. And still all is good on the southern front. It's taking them quite a bit of time to move their units up. Now, the question is, I have an opportunity now. After 2 weeks, we have completely wrecked their northern strategic direction. There is an opportunity here to just completely push out. And part of me would quite like to take that opportunity. Anyone that watches me play the Lord of the Rings game, DAC, Divide and Conquer, Third Age Total War, knows that I am a very attacking sort of commander here. Always. And I'm thinking attack might be the best form of defense. Nope, I'm not going to do that, Belgium. Yeah, this is battles in the Far East that just aren't going well. Let's reinforce here. Unhinging my whole defensive strategy down here. Because I just can't bring up units quick enough. Although we're holding here. And my militia's holding there. We're not doing so hot here. Let's pull back. Let's pull back. We've got a river line that I can sort of make up here. I reckon that'll be the plan. Being attacked there. Let's ground attack. Using our planes to just sort of delay the defeat of Vladivostok. Come on, you should be able to deal with one dug-in militia unit. Where is that rebellion? Oh, fuck's sake. I find rebellions in this game really irritating, and the only reason why I kept them in because I knew that they would happen a lot as the USSR. And I didn't necessarily want to cut them out of the game because of that. But they're such a dull bit of this game. I just add very little. And I think when it comes to the next place that I'd like to attack, this is looking good. I'm almost looking at these provinces going, we could hold a line like this. Now, don't be too greedy. You've done enough for this year. Winter will be setting in soon. This is going to be an envelopment attack now. This is... okay, not as bad as it first looked. There are attacks all across the line now. Mechanized breakthrough. Kosenko, very talented looking commander. Level 5 against whoever this guy is, level 3. Purge? What purge? There's no purge. We want to push up there. Let's support attack with these troops. Move up with more tank divisions. Immediately counter-attacking with some pretty shitty militia. And I'm going to end this episode in a minute. I'm going to try and do it in a slightly more bite-sized chunk. There we go, so that's another few more units. It's this pocket here in the swamps that we're struggling to sort of deal with. So we've got 39,000 troops there. Just gonna hold. Because I think with these units, how many have we got? We've got 5 units that are in battle at least. So 67,000 troops. Let's hold off attacking there. We're looking a little bit weak in a couple of spots, so I'm just gonna reinforce via redeployment. $79,000 troops. So we've caught a couple of Hungarian divisions, some Romanians, 2 German infantry divisions and a Panzer division, and a couple, as I say, of mounted divisions. And then we're just waiting to see. Looks like we've got some Serbians and some more Germans. And then here we've got another 20,000 troops, another Romanian division. And then really it's only Italians up here. Okay, so we need to do that. That's a real pain in the ass. How long until you get there? The 27th. Come on. Come on, light tanks. Although you do have infantry tanks in there, which, means you're not actually as fast as you probably should be. You're actually quite slow. In fact, oh god, are you going to overtake? Yep, so that's that Italian division gone. Let's see if we can push across with the 2nd Shock Army and all these troops here. We lost the Battle of Vladivostok. It is a sad day. But it's not that sad. Right, reinforce. And support attack. It's only 65,000 troops and bang. So I don't think we can call this anything other than a complete success, to be honest. Although this is a bit of a pickle. Let's reinforce the front. And move up our divisions accordingly. We've got some more new Proletariat divisions. Yes, this limited advance has done everything I hoped it would. Gonna hold them back just a little bit longer, and I'm gonna call it an episode here when the game hopefully doesn't crash. Yeah, so it's the 28th of August. Things have gone relatively well, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with our progress, all things considered. In the short space of time that we've been fighting the Germans, so from literally the 1st to the 28th, we've probably inflicted about 200,000 losses, men-wise and material. So overall this is pretty good, and we've managed to capture a new defensive position along this river here. Now the real question is, do I just want to just go for it? and try and push out. Bearing in mind that it's nearly September, so we've only really got one more month of good weather, and then after that, the weather will turn against us. So part of me just wants to hold this line now, because there are weak points still that I can exploit next year. For example, I would probably say, where's the best points? If we could break through along here, so just south of Kiev, and literally push straight away towards Odessa, that would be a pretty significant victory. And that's all I'm looking for, is a significant victory in the south next year, in 1943. Now, I still have to stabilize the front here against the Japanese, and it's looking a little bit dicey, to be honest. But we'll see what we can do on that front. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks again. Bye-bye.